Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again. And I want to take a little of your time and share some information with you, some insights, something that I have learned and I'd like to share it with you. It might be beneficial to others as well. You know, I oftentimes when I'm speaking, I tell people that I am a social scientist as far as my schooling goes. And reminded that when my wife and I are speaking sometimes about issues that might be a little controversial, I might make a statement and say, well, now I'm a social scientist, so I know what I'm talking about. And I do that really making fun. But the truth of the matter is I feel pretty good about a lot of things that I come in contact with, enough to accept them as the way to go forward, as opposed to just following somebody else's directions because they're given for any reason. But I wanted to speak a little bit on the subject matter that everybody is hustling. I was thinking about that. The message is not new. I spoke one time on the subject called The Devil's Trap Called Prosperity. But, when I look at life, especially here in the United States of America and a few of the foreign countries that I've had the privilege of being in, the way the systems operate is where you can see firsthand about the spirit and the nature of the governance of that particular environment. You can tell by its people. You can tell by the standards that have been set and how they might all equal or differ. You can tell this government, any system, you can tell whether it's good or bad, whether you can say it works or failed by its influence on its people. Now, how you measure the results of its influence might, what it really does is reflect the conduct of the people that it represents. But for me, being able to tell you what is beautiful to me, it is simply that all of the citizens have the pleasure of having their dreams come true. To me, you can't beat that. I mean, everybody wants their dream to come true. So why not have their dream to come true? The big question is, how do you do it? Well, for me to stand here and suggest to you how to do it or tell you how to do it would kind of sound a little silly to you, having spent your whole lifetime being trained, being taught, indoctrinated that the way the system is the way that it is. And you must learn to tread within these parameters. And that's what schooling is for, to teach you to work within these perimeters, within these confines. And nothing is taught about how to rise above this. And so, to be blunt, all who are hearing my voice right now are probably ignorant about freedom. You dream of freedom but have no idea what freedom is. In fact, freedom frightens you. It frightens you in such a way you won't put a hand in it. Is that you? I mean, that represents so many people. They are afraid of freedom. Will you help bring freedom to us all? No, they will not. But why is that? Because also while we're living in this type of environment, we are taught how to, as I mentioned, survive here. And survival basically means, for this particular part of the conversation, is being able to have your dreams come true. Knowing that in order for your dreams to come true, you must take advantage of somebody else's. That means that the more dreams you have fulfilled, the more dreams they lose. That's the way it is in most economies, even in the United States of America today. As the rich get richer, prospering, what happens to the poor? They get poorer and poorer and poor. I mean, and now that's evidence. I mean, what other studies do you need than life itself? So, what I would speak to you about is the system is hanging itself. Businessmen, what do? They go into business for a reason. Sometimes it has to do with productions of goods and services that the people have determined or have been trained to think that they need. And that someone is offered a job in these capacities so that they can reap some of these in God we trust, allowing them to pay and buy that good and service for which they render every day. Now, to me, that doesn't even make any sense. But that's what they do. And in doing it this way, they make it possible for you to get payment, giving life to that action for which they've taken, that action which has determined that we must use the system, who've thrown money on us and trying to get it back out of our hands in every way we possibly can, doesn't make any sense except it gives them control of us. Because the goods and services that we create, as I said a moment ago, we do them. We do them. Now, why not do it for one another? Why do it for the corporate? They're the ones that go home with all of the rewards, and we're struggling trying to get some overtime. And I ask you again, why? Why? Well, if you are not receiving benefits, if you are losing your unemployment, if these hardships are upon you, you're hustling too. Because you're waiting for a break where you can jump in and take care of it, irregardless of whom it might hurt. The preachers talk to you about God. Does it mean anything? No, you live that way. In fact, so do the preachers. They're hustling. They're trying to survive to take care of themselves, those who don't have other jobs within the system, trying to make sure that the cost to keep the operations and the overheads secure. Hustling. They gotta get it. Because if they don't get it, they lose it. And if they lose it, what do? Hustling. Everybody hustling. Waiting for a break. But why not stand up, you know? You can't do what you don't know how to do. Cast not your pearls before swine. It's a message that many people ignore. And I'm one of them. I want to change America. And I need your help.